Hey guys, Rominating Reaper here. So it's supposed to be the middle of summer, and it's been pissing it down. It's a perfect day for the cinema, and all I can say on this one is, welcome to Omniplex Cinemas. Yeah, about to head and see Jurassic World Rebirth. It's supposed to be a soft reboot of the whole franchise. This does look like it should be a bit of fun summer popcorn blockbuster dinosaur fun. I've got my fingers crossed that at the very least it'll be better than the last film. But there's only one way to find out, and that is to go in, get some snacks, and get seated for Jurassic World Rebirth. Alright, so all I can say here is, oh my god, one more week, boys. Alright, let's go get ourselves that Omnisaurus Plex combo. Let's see which cup we get. So I've got my popcorn here and a Coca-Cola in the Omnisaurus Plex combo with a Velociraptor cup, ready for the return of the dinosaurs. So, Jurassic World Rebirth. I am back from seeing it. This is directed by Gareth Edwards. It's also written by David Koepp, who wrote the first two Jurassic films, and most recently the Steven Soderbergh film Black Bag, which was excellent and deserved to do so much better. Now, the production history of Rebirth was certainly interesting to say the least, because this was only officially announced January last year, and so within the span of a year and a half they have cast this film, they have shot it, done all the effect shots and edited it together. So I was certainly curious to see how the film would turn out given the fast track nature of its production, and also all the talk of it being a return to basics for the franchise, a la Prey. But does this back to basics reboot deliver a return to form for the Jurassic franchise? Let's find out. So the film is set 5 years after the events of Dominion. The dinosaurs on the mainland have slowly started dying out, and those that have survived have moved towards the equator, a more suitable habitat that has become a no-go zone for humans, until one day, operative Zora Bennett is approached by pharmaceutical executive Martin Krebs to carry out a mission to go on to an equatorial island and retrieve 3 data samples from dinosaur species across land, sea, and air in order to create a drug that could cure heart disease, with paleontologist Henry Loomis, boat captain Duncan Kincaid, and Krebs himself tagging along. However, the island also houses an InGen research facility where some of the worst genetically mutated dinosaurs have also been left behind. Obviously, this franchise has long struggled to recapture that magic Spielberg brought to the original film. Hell, even Spielberg himself couldn't. So it's a miracle that we only have one straight up bad entry, the rest ranging from okay, serviceable, to legitimately entertaining popcorn blockbuster. It's no surprise that Rebirth also comes up short in recapturing that magic, but it is a pretty good film overall and a definite improvement on the last couple, and I'd say it's top 3 of the franchise. Whether that says more about Rebirth or the state of the franchise overall is entirely up to you. To its credit, it actually starts off really strong, with a horror-based opening set piece with some shades of Final Destination about it that really sets the tone. From there it shifts back a gear to set up the story and central mission, and this is where one of my issues lies. And it's that story-wise, it's not exactly doing anything particularly new for the franchise. Plays itself kind of safe, basically just being an improved version of Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. But after that first act, once it gets going, it's abundantly clear why Gareth Edwards was such a good choice to direct this. Because across his films, he has such a strong eye for visuals, and that really translates for dinosaurs. He's so brilliant at capturing the scale of these creatures, but also because his background is in visual effects, he has a really strong handle on how to seamlessly implement these effect shots with live action footage, really bringing it to life on such a cinematic scale. An equally inspired decision is the fact they shot it on film, and it really makes the whole thing look that bit more cinematic with a really vibrant color palette and some really interesting bits of texture like film grain and chromatic aberration. It looks gorgeous. And so when you pair that up with Alexandre Desplat's score, which of course utilizes some of the original John Williams themes, because of course, it really brings this whole thing to life on such a sweeping scale. And of course, there are plenty of dinosaur set pieces to back it up. Whether it be capturing the sense of wonder of these majestic creatures, as in the Titanosaurus scene, which has echoes of the first Brachiosaurus encounter from the original film, or capturing the thrills and danger of these creatures, and in the Mosasaurus encounter, and a scene adapted directly from Michael Crichton's original novel in which a T-Rex chases a raft down a river. It's got a share of really tense moments and some well-executed kills, with an overall survivalist horror element running through it. It is really, really strong stuff. And so naturally, the characters aren't as strong in comparison, and this is definitely a bit of an Achilles heel across Gareth Edwards' films. Pretty thin characters. And don't get me wrong, the performances are good. Like Scarlett Johansson, for instance, does a really good job as Zora, this hardened mercenary who also has some past trauma to overcome. Jonathan Bailey is also very strong as Henry Loomis, this intelligent yet nervy paleontologist with a heart of gold. Rupert Friend is also having a lot of fun as this slimy big pharma man Krebs. Obviously, the characters don't go much deeper than these one-sentence summaries. I will say, though, Mahershala Ali as Duncan is the standout. He's a real strong screen presence, and it's criminal that Kevin Feige and Marvel have fumbled him and his Blade film. There's also a family subplot led by Manuel Garcia Rolfo as Ruben. And I think the film trying to fit in both the mission and this shipwrecked family means that everybody gets like half the character development they should, if that makes any sense. But I think the film knows it's coming up short in regards to characterization, and so it more than makes up for that by delivering a second half that is basically like non-stop dinosaur set pieces. A lot of times we'll be going straight from one set piece into another. It ensures that the plot overall is incredibly tight and much more engaging than Dominion's was. And of course this carries right through to the final act with a big set piece involving yet another genetically modified dinosaur, the Distordius Rex, which basically looks like a mix of a Rancor from Star Wars and a Xenomorph. Yeah, once again, another genetically modified monstrosity. Seriously, can we stop doing this? Like, we just want, like, real dinosaurs. None of these, these, like, mixtures. We want the real deal. But in saying that, the final act is very, very strong, and it really ties together that survivalist horror tone that carries through a lot of the earlier set pieces. It does a really good job of building tension and suspense, but also a real sense of danger too. It is a real satisfying closer to what is overall a very entertaining bit of popcorn blockbuster entertainment, and I imagine most audiences will leave this film satisfied. Overall, Jurassic World Rebirth may have its shortcomings in regards to story and character, but it more than makes up for that by delivering plenty of tense, gripping dinosaur set pieces and strikingly cinematic visuals that just beg to be seen on the biggest screen possible. Out of 10, Jurassic World Rebirth gets a 7. So yeah, let me know down in the comments, have you seen Jurassic World Rebirth? What did you think of it? What did you make of it in comparison to the last few Jurassic films? And what is your favourite entry in the franchise? And would you like to see Gareth Edwards direct more Jurassic films? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.